Hey everyone, quick video to talk about some latest NHL news. There's some Toronto Maple Leafs news and some rumors and them targeting one of the bigger free agents left. Not Jack Grzelcyk, it might be somebody else related to agent Darren Ferris, who of course is the current agent of Mitch Marner. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Hit that like button, comment down below. Hope to see you on the channel more. Toronto Maple Leafs signed Dennis Hildeby to a 3-year contract. Goaltender, 6'7". We know that Hildeby could be the next number 2 or number 3 goalie for the Leafs, depending on what happens with Stolarz and Woll. And speaking about Stolarz, apparently the Leafs have now pivoted to talking to Stolarz about an extension. So Stolarz has 1 year left at $2.5 million for this upcoming year against the cap. So where does Stolarz' number go? I personally don't want to see long-term. I think for a guy that's past that 30 mark, you have to be careful with these guys. I know some people have talked about that 5 times 5, so $5 million each year over 5 years. I think that's even risky. If you can get him even a little bit higher at a shorter term, I think that's the better bet. And you plan on Woll and Hildeby being your guy in 3 to 4 years. So my preference on a contract for Stolarz would be like $6 million a year for 3 years rather than 5 by 5. I think if you extend the years, the number comes down a little bit. If the number is higher, then you have to keep the years shorter. And I think 3 years for Stolarz gives enough time for Hildeby to kind of learn, and Stolarz being in a bigger goalie as well, that benefits Hildeby as well. So just stuff to keep in mind. So the other thing with Darren Ferris, he was on a podcast. I'm not going to keep talking about the Mitch Marner guys. Like that is in the past. I might bring it up if other news comes out, but I have released my video on YouTube and TikTok if you guys want to go check it out. It's just a 4-minute video. But long story short, Darren Ferris went on a podcast at the same time around Marner had the interview with Mark Masters, and he talked about that he still has a relationship with GM Brad Treliving, and he's talking to him about another player, a free agent player, and that could be Matt Grzelcyk, because the biggest name right now under Darren Ferris is Matt Grzelcyk. I don't know if there's smaller players that are under Darren Ferris, but Matt Grzelcyk is that guy. He had about 40 assists last year. He's definitely a playmaking, skating type defenseman. He could be a good guy to have next to like either Chris Tanev or maybe like with OEL and Benoit on a third pair. It just depends on how the Leafs want to structure things, because they could also consider, with losing a guy like Marner, have more of a structure of 11 forwards, 7 defensemen, have your 4 penalty killing guys being like McCabe, Tanev, Benoit, and Carlo, and then have your power play guys more focused around Grzelcyk, OEL, and Rielly. You could do something like that. Obviously, Rielly's struggled on the power play. OEL can definitely play power play. I think I like what I see from OEL here and there, but Grzelcyk could be that guy as well. So if it came in around $2 million, it makes sense. The Leafs have around that cap space right now, and they're trying to still move both David Kampf and Cal Yarncroc. So let's keep an eye on all that stuff. Other news around the league, I think there's still a lot of interest in Jack Grzelcyk. I really don't know what the holdup is, because I think he could get $2 to $3 million, maybe more, depending on the term. But I do think that the Toronto Maple Leafs are probably checking in on the player. They're just waiting to see the Kampf and Yarncroc scenario. And then for the defensive side of things, if they were to bring in Grzelcyk, you would expect a couple defensemen to be moved out, some of their depth defensemen. So they still have Matt Benning. They still, of course, have Philip Myers. They acquired Henry Thrun. So they have a few of those depth defensemen. They probably have 8 or 9 caliber, like NHL caliber defensemen right now. So that's something to consider as well. But across the league, there's not a whole lot going on. And I think that's the disappointing part here, because like coming out of free agency, a bunch of insiders were saying it was going to be a busy summer, so much going on, big trades, and myself, I've been hearing stuff and it just nothing has come to fruition. So that's the Leaf side of things. A couple things for the Pittsburgh Penguins. It still seems like they're trying to read the market for Erik Karlsson, Rickard Rakell, Brian Rush. So that's kind of still in the air. The Canucks have still been trying to go for something, especially either like a second line center upgrade over Hedl, or going for maybe just another addition to the top 6. So I've been hearing a little bit about that. And then of course, just all across the board, guys, you guys have been seeing the Connor McDavid stuff. Will Connor McDavid be signing an extension in Edmonton? It's been all over the place. So give me your thoughts, guys, and hope to see you on the next video or stream. More content to come. I'm going to be ramping up with content leading into preseason. So hope to see you there. Peace.